Hey friends, it's Elizabeth here from the Everyday Storyteller, and I am here with a video for week 1 in my 2023 Project Life album. Alright, so let's take a look at what is currently on my desk. So over here I have my page protectors. I've already added some of my photos in here. I am working in a 6x12 linen album this year, so I have two 6x12 page protectors. Well, actually that's not quite correct. This is a 9x12 page protector that I folded over. This is going to be my title page for the year. As you can see, I already have some tag shapes in this fold over right here. I haven't worked out my title page yet, but I decided to dive straight into week 1, keeping in mind what I wanted to do for my title page. So I went ahead and I've already folded over my 9x12 page protector, and I'm working on the back side of it. So this part is not actually folded over. It just looks like a regular 6x12 page protector with 3x4 slots, if that makes sense. So my title page will be a fold over. This side of the page for week 1 is just the regular 6x12. So I chose 6x12 this year mostly because after foraying into a 10x8 album last year for 2022, I realized that in this particular time of my life, if I want to get my project life done in a physical album, I need something that can be easily distilled into a formula. My 10x8 album had a lot of room for creativity, but I didn't really love the page protector sizes in that album, and it was really hard to get into a groove. So I have come back to my old reliable. I started out scrapbooking in pocket pages, and I have returned. So that is what we're doing for 2023. I decided on the 6x12 because it's smaller and I felt like it would be a little bit more easily manageable. And I'm really liking it so far. It's taking me a little bit to get used to the groove because it's been a while since I did pocket page scrapbooking, but I'm really excited. The kit that I am using for this particular week is the Remember Story Kit by Ali Edwards. This came out in December. As I said, I didn't do Project Life pocket page scrapbooking in 2022, so I have a lot of story kits and stories by the month kits to use this year. For 2023, I decided to switch my Ali Edwards subscription. I'm only getting the physical stories by the month kit, and I am just getting the story kit kits digitally. So I'm getting the digital story class for Ali for this year instead of the physical kit, because I have so many physical story kits, you guys. Like, I have an entire 2 drawers full of story kits that have almost never been touched. So I have decided that 2023 is the year of busting my stash and using up my story kits, and I do want to keep up with Ali's story kits in 2023 because they're gorgeous and I love them, and I have an addiction for real to Ali's story kits, but I have decided to just do those digitally. If there's a kit that I really love and I absolutely feel like I can't live without the physical products in the kit, I will just buy that month, and that is it. So that is my plan for 2023. Fingers crossed that I stick with my plan. All right, so I am using the Remember Story Kit by Ali. I love the colors. I love everything about this kit. It's a little bit Christmassy, but not too Christmassy. Let's get into it. I have a couple of photos printed. I have 1 4x6 and 5 3x4s. This side of the page protector is all 3x4 pockets. This side is the regular 4x6, 2 3x4s, and another 4x6. As you can see, I don't have a 4x6 for this slot for this particular week, but that's okay. I will put a card there. So I kind of have an idea already of what I am going to do. I'm going to start off with this as my title card. This was originally a quote card. It says, "We do not remember days, we remember moments." And I really put quote cards in my pocket page albums. So I am going to do something very weird for me. I am going to cover up that quote card with something else. So these, this particular sentiment comes from the die cut pack I'm not actually sure. I don't remember if the die cut pack was part of the kit or if I got it as an add-on, but either way, I am using one of the die cuts to cover that sentiment up with this one that says, "So thankful for these memories." I will add the date with my date stamp. Jury is still out on whether or not I will cut this little speech bubble arrow thing off. Right now I'm kind of liking it, but I'm not really a fan of speech bubbles, to be honest. So I might actually cut that part off and it'll just be like a rounded square. I am leaving this 3x4 slot blank because this will end up being transparent. I will have either vellum or acetate there and just like a circle embellishment. So I'm kind of keeping this here so that I remember that nothing goes here. And this is a transparent element from the title page. So I actually took the time to write down a list of the stories that I wanted to tell for this week. I have 6 small stories. So my plan is to use this 3x8 card to tell those 6 stories. So this is inspired by this card right here. This is a 4x6 card that just has space for 1, 2, and 3 stories. It has the sentiment on the side that says, "These are the moments I never want to forget." I was originally going to use this card, but then I realized I had 6 stories, not 3, and I really want to use the list format for this particular week. So I am going to mimic the style of this card on this 3x8 card. So I plan on doing that by using this stamp set. This stamp set is from the Stories by the Month 2023 January kit, and it kind of mimics, not completely, but it kind of mimics the style of these numbers on this card. So I am planning on stamping 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, blah, blah, on each one of those, and then writing out my story with my typewriter. My husband gave me a typewriter for Christmas, and I'm really excited to use that in my pocket page album this year. So that is my plan for that. Hopefully that will go in these 2 spaces. We'll see how things work, but that is my plan for this week. Let's get started. All right, so after that quite lengthy intro, we're going to go straight to my title card. So as I said before, I am going to cover up the quote on the title card with that "So thankful for these memories" embellishment. And my first thought was just to stamp my dates right on that embellishment. There was a little bit of white space underneath the quote, but the stamping came out all wonky. Some of the numbers didn't even show up. I did a really horrible job stamping on that one. And after a little bit of pivoting, as you saw, I tried out that circle embellishment as well. I just decided to cut down the embellishment. So I cut down the flub stamping on the bottom and the extra white space on the top, rounded the corners, and I'm just going to add that on top of the quote on my 3x4 card. That gave me enough room to stamp out my dates down below with Stays On black ink. And to make it look a little bit more purposeful, I added a Tim Holtz mini paperclip, and I actually end up continuing that throughout the spread. So that was actually kind of a fun embellishment that came about because of a mistake. So now I'm going to go to my journaling cards. I am using that 3x8 color block journaling card that you'll see right there, and I am just cutting it down to fit into 2 3x4 pockets. You've already seen in the intro that January 2023 Stories by the Month stamp set, and I'm just going to be using the numbers on that stamp set and my black Stays On ink to number each color block from 1 to 6. Say hello to Clive, everybody. That is the name that I gave my typewriter, if you were wondering. And unfortunately, the very first time that I used him in this spread, he didn't do that great of a job, but I don't think it's his fault. I think I need to replace the typewriter ribbon. So in the meantime for this spread, I just went ahead and retyped all of my journaling on my computer and printed out the digital versions of these cards. I did have to change that one card that says January Stories that I'm currently working on. And you'll see that I actually ended up having to switch out the sentiment for the digital version. I didn't have that specific January Stories card, so I switched it out with a sentiment that said January Details. And now I am just working on my embellishments. As you can see, I'm following kind of the same formula that I did for my title card. I am using that oval embellishment that I had previously stamped on and decided against. I'm just cutting that down into different shapes and adding one of the Tim Holtz mini paper clips as well as 2 tiny word phrase stickers. The pink word phrase sticker is from the January 2023 Stories by the Month kit, and then the green one is from the Remember Story kit, which is the one that I'm working from. And I just go ahead and do that for both the 4x6 photo of my husband and my daughter and then the 3x4 photo of my dog. I mentioned in my intro that I only have 2 3x4s to fill up that 4x6 pocket up there, so I'm just using some washi tape to secure both of those photos together on the back side. And then I'm going to be adding that January chipboard right on that photo of my dog looking out the window. That I believe is from last year's Stories by the Month physical kit. All right, so the last pocket that I am working on is the one that will be transparent. As you can see, I already chose my chipboard that will appear on the title page, the Hello 2023. So now I am just choosing a pattern that fits that circle, and I'm using it as a template to cut out the starburst pattern. I believe this is from the embellishment pack that came with the Remember Story kit. And once that's done, I'm going to be using some pop dots to pop up 2 word phrase stickers, also in pink and green, and then I'm going to call this spread completed. Thank you so much for joining me for my very first Project Life spread of 2023, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.